In World War II, German infantry faced an ever-growing problem. The number of tanks, especially on the Eastern Front, seemed never-ending. This meant that the average infantry soldier had to have a strategy mount. In this series of shorts, we look at an official German training film and see what they were taught, as well as the weapons at their disposal to stop a KV or T-34. By the midpoint in the war, the Germans faced the reality of the Allied industrial complex. That meant that if heavier weapons like artillery or anti-tank pieces couldn't be brought to bear, every infantryman had to know what to do with the weapons to hand. MG42s could suppress the enemy soldiers and keep their heads down, but each German soldier needed to know the techniques and weapons to take out an enemy tank.
Den der Unteroffizier im ungünstigen Winkel heranspringt.
Including outdated or obsolete weapons that you might find in secondary defence lines. Weapons like the Pak-36, a 37mm small anti-tank gun that was famously called the door knocker as its rounds tended to bounce off enemy tanks, with deadly consequences for any gun crew who tried to take out a T-34, let alone a KV heavy tank. It needed something bigger. So the first weapon we're looking at is this, the Stielgranate 41. This was a huge hollow-shaped charged warhead that had to be attached to the weapon from in front of the gun shield. Although terrifying to use in combat, it did give the gun additional hitting power, weighing in at 8.5 kilograms, and with a velocity of 110 meters per second. The warhead gave rear echelon units a fighting chance, as Chris Hughes explains.
Essentially, it's like a stick grenade. It's a hollow charge weapon. Early in the war, the Germans found that the 37mm was lacking in penetration power against the heavier Allied tanks, the T-34s and KVs. So they needed to find a way to keep these in service because they built thousands of them. So they came up with a hollow charge device that was fired by a blank. So some brave German soldier will have to go out, take this device and actually manually load it onto the end of the barrel. So there's a rod here that's inside the fins, and this rod fits into the barrel. He crawls back to his slit trench, and then the gunner fires a blank cartridge to propel this projectile out towards the target. Now, it's not a high velocity weapon, so it's not going to be the most accurate, and I believe the range was only maybe 150 meters. So against a tank charging down at you, you better make sure that shot counts because you're not going to have time to reload.
What's your favorite World War II